Happy Monday and welcome back to your favorite podcast, Hustle Haven. We are your hosts. I am Tiesha Renee.
And I'm River the Realtor.
And welcome back. We skipped a week, y'all, if y'all didn't notice. If y'all didn't notice, that's a problem. But if y'all did notice, we skipped a week. But hey.
We did. I had to go on a trip. I was on vacation.
Exactly. We had to wait for the queen, the princess to come back.
It was a good time, though. Africa treated me well, so
I love Cape Town. What did you think of it?
It was amazing. It was truly amazing.
I loved it.
I loved it.
Let's get into it. Straight to the point today, y'all. Today, we're going to be talking about building a business while still figuring it out.
I think that's everybody's narrative at this point.
Exactly. And not just like figuring it out from like, what do you want to do with your business? But like figuring it out, like you could have just relocated to a new state, or you could have just graduated. Like any,
or
so
you could be trying to juggle the work and the business kind of life as well.
There's so many different things that go on in life from the personal side and from the business side. So like, how are you like trying to create this empire while you still don't even know
what you eating for dinner? That's literally me.
Exactly.
Don't even know.
What you eating for dinner? You don't even know. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the beginning stages.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know we've kind of like gave our backstory before on like how we became entrepreneurs in general, but like what was really that like aha moment of like, I need to start a business?
Well, I mean, obviously outside of the fact that I got fired from my corporate job from COVID, I think the aha moment for me was also working in corporate and just kind of realizing like, this is not for me. Like, I don't fit in here. This is not how I envision my day-to-day. This is not my lifestyle. I need to do something where I can A, be in control of my life, B, be in control of my time, and C, be able to control like my ceiling. Because what I was doing in corporate America, like once you hit about 75,000, that was literally it. And I'm like, if I keep going on this path, what's going to be next for me? So that was kind of like my aha.
Okay. My aha was actually before I feel like I got laid off. Like early on when I was living in New York and I needed to move back closer home and I couldn't take that job with me. I was like, I don't like that. Now I gotta like, even though I did leave and I didn't have nothing in place, but it didn't feel good. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like if you have a business, you can kind of go where you need to go, life changes, family changes or whatever. You can kind of take that business with you. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like at that moment, I was like, I don't want to keep like, if I want to change something today, I don't want to keep essentially my livelihood, you know, depending on somebody else.
Correct.
In a sense. So
correct.
I would say that was my aha moment. And I think at that moment, the messy parts for me were struggling to know, like, what type of business do you want to have? Because if you ask anybody, since I was in the 6th grade, they were like, what do you want to be? I don't know where I learned the word entrepreneur. I think it was from Oprah.
Okay.
Oprah and Tyra Banks. I loved it when I was little. I was like, I'm going to be an entrepreneur.
Okay. I used to be like, I'm going to be the president of the United States.
I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to have my own business. I didn't know what it was going to be, though. And it was that same thing.
Did you know, like, real estate at all was going to be, like, your transition in?
No, I had no idea. Like, I remember when I moved to Atlanta and I was taking a walk and I was like, bro, what do I like doing? Like, what do I genuinely enjoy? Like, what puts a smile on my face?
And real estate was your answer?
Yeah. Okay. It wasn't just like being a realtor, though. It was like, I like watching HGTV.
No, that's a fact. I feel like it has to start with your interest, too, because I'll be honest, like, I went into real estate not really loving real estate.
Right.
But I was like, I gotta do something. And it's like, I kind of was familiar with real estate because my dad is a developer. Right. My mom is a property manager. And I knew the money was good. So I'm like, but I really enjoy helping people. And I'm like, at some point, I gotta figure out how to use this to help people. But right now, it's just like a get money ploy. Like I started calculating commissions and understanding how much I was making in corporate. I said, so if I sell one house and 200,000, I'm still better off. I'm gonna just go with that. So like that was just like I really didn't know what I was gonna do to build a business, how I was gonna find people, not being from Atlanta. Like who gonna trust this random girl who don't really even know?
From here.
I don't even know how to get to Donnelly Howe. Don't even know where that's at. How you gonna trust me to buy a house? But I'm like, I gotta kind of figure that part out with, you know, again, not really knowing what was next.
That's so interesting how we have two different. Like, I had no idea about real estate. I didn't know about generational wealth. I didn't know, like, the importance of buying these houses and passing. I had no idea. I just was like, I like looking at HGTV and seeing them decorate the houses, build the houses, the process. Yeah. So let me just put my shoes over here and see where it takes me. And I fell in love with it. I'm like, oh, this is so, like, impactful. Yeah. And that's what I feel like I was lacking in my 9 to 5. I was like, I'm just doing work. Like, nobody cares. Like, what's going on in this meeting? Nobody cares. Yeah.
And
but when I do real estate, when I sell a house, when I'm at that closing table, I'm like, yo, you are building generational wealth and I'm helping you do it.
Yeah, you are.
I love that.
I love that.
Now let's talk about how when you're starting your business, and when we started, we were super young.
Yeah.
And growing personally.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the challenges of like, I'm still trying to figure out who Tiesha is. Like, I'm still trying to build up this confidence. Like, Tiesha, you know, you that girl, like go out there, step out there and do what you need to do. Like, how did you navigate the personal growth and the business growth? Because I feel like they go hand in hand.
I think they definitely go hand in hand. I think especially for what we do, there's like a different level of confidence you have to have when you're trying to sell somebody an asset like a home.
Yes.
Like you can't just be all like willy-nilly about stuff. There's a level of confidence, but also there's that inner confidence that you kind of struggle with as a newer agent. Like, oh, am I doing enough? Am I good? Blah, blah, blah. So I think for me, like, I've always been confident in myself. Like, hey, I'm River, like the water. Like, I've been saying that since I was like 4 years old, okay? Like, I really am just who I am. I think that being in my like early 20s when I started in this business, I did struggle a little bit trying to like step into being a real adult. Cause I think adulthood comes in phases, right? Yeah. You have your fake adulthood, which is like when you're in college and like you not old enough to drink, but you drink it anyway. So you feel like you grown. That's like 18, 19, that age. And then you turn 21. It's like, okay, I'm really an actual adult.
I gotta
like,
get an apartment.
Exactly. And then you get into like that, okay, I'm an adult for real. And I'm now feeling that. And I feel like that's when I started real estate. So for me, I did struggle a little bit trying to learn how to be an adult, but now I'm also a business owner, and it just kind of felt like the weight of the world was on me. Like I just didn't know how to navigate that truthfully.
Yeah. Oh, I'm piggyback off of that. It's feeling like the weight of the world, because I kind of felt like, so that for my family, like, you know, when people look at you like, she's gonna be the one.
Girl.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, this is gonna be the one.
Yeah, like, I'm not even worried about her.
Get the, like, she never loses. Like, she is just getting, I think having that weight and knowing like in real estate, you can fail.
At any time.
So I mean, and just not in real estate, just in life. Now it's kind of like, yes, I get all A's. Yes, I'm always on honor. Yes, I'm getting all these like academic awards, but like now it's real life. Like, what are you really going to, like, can you really keep up, Tiesha?
And the thing about a business that's a little bit different than corporate is like, if you go to corporate America, you go to your job, you show up on time, you do the work, you're going to get paid, you're going to climb the corporate ladder, you get to the C-suite.
Maybe.
Like, okay, maybe, but generally, if you do what you're supposed to do, you're going to reap the benefits. In entrepreneurship, you can literally do everything correct and still it don't work.
And still lose.
It still fall flat on your face.
And still, you can go show clients' houses 50 weekends back to back to back to back to
Quite
back.
literally. And they can still say, I'm moving to Iowa, actually.
I've actually changed. I actually want to rent. Let's find an apartment. That's the knife in my heart.
In your heart.
And it's not about like, oh, I'm not going to get this commission. But it's also like, like I put a lot of time and energy and effort into working with you. So like I'm not going to get my commissions to pay my bills.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
That's a fact.
But I think once you actually get that confidence and kind of like get out of your own head, like once you start waking up every morning and it's like, okay, Tiesha, like you may not have, you know, it may not be perfect, but like you got this going, you're this girl, you know what you're capable of, you know what you can do, you know what your abilities are, put in the work and do it.
No,
I think once you actually start that self-doubt and the confidence, the self-doubt leaves and the confidence comes in, like that's when it starts to get good. That's when it starts to, not only me growing as a person, like as a 30-year-old woman, like, oh, like embracing myself, but like that energy transfers to my business. Where it's kind of like, if there is a hard day in this business today, you know what? Tomorrow's gonna be better type of thing.
No, I literally agree with that. And I think one thing that we gotta talk about when we do ask the question or talk about the topic of like working and feel like not having it all together, I gotta give a quick shout out. Shout out to my godson's godfather. His birthday was a couple weeks ago and we were just kind of talking. One thing he reminded me, and I feel like this helped me in this time, was about grace. Because the reality of the situation is a lot of people don't walk into entrepreneurship or into business having it all figured out.
Right.
And then you overbeat yourself up and you don't give yourself grace. And I think that was something I had to learn in this transitional period of like stepping into like starting a business and not having anything figured out. It wasn't even that I didn't have some things. I had nothing figured out. I had to give myself grace.
Right.
And I had to understand like, I'm going to learn some more of this stuff as I fall on my face. So I have to look at these experiences as, you know, pouring into myself and teaching and learning from it. But giving myself grace and understanding that, okay, I don't have it all figured out and that is okay. That really helped me lead the charge because I didn't feel like I owed it to anybody to be perfect. I didn't feel like I owed it to myself to have all my ducks in a row in order for me to be successful. I just did the best that I could and gave myself grace on the back end to know like, you know what? I'm gonna figure it out and it's gonna be just fine.
You know what? We're getting rid of the word perfect.
No, we literally have to get rid of it. It does not exist, bro.
I am getting a petition, guys, and we're gonna sign it and we're gonna remove that from the dictionary.
Quite literally.
Because I just don't think we don't need that, like, what is it? What is the word? We don't need that stress of like trying to be
trying
perfect,
to aim for perfection. Like,
exactly.
You'll fail every time. I'm so
exactly.
sorry.
And another thing off of that, Grace, is like learning that every day is a learning experience. I feel like even like today, like I don't know it all. Like if I have a question, I'm still going to call my mentor. Like I still have people to call because I haven't dealt with every single situation, scenario, or experience in business or my personal life.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I gotta call somebody. I gotta call my mom. I'm like, Mom, what I'm supposed to do?
No, seriously. No, look, girl.
But every day is a learning experience, and it's okay if you don't know. Like, don't beat yourself up because like you didn't know the answer to one question or you don't know how to handle the situation. Utilize the resources around you.
Facts.
Learn, grow, and let's move forward.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I love that.
So let's talk about how I feel like in entrepreneurship, a way to kind of do that and learn all the grace is knowing that you have to be comfortable with kind of learning on the fly. You have to be comfortable being put in situations where it may have been very, 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 very unexpected or like you're like, okay, wait a minute. I didn't see that one coming. But having to know, like, you know what? This is happening right now. What am I learning from this?
Adaptability, I feel like, is extreme and is key, especially if you work in like a fast-paced business or a fast-paced environment, because it's like, what are you going to do? Like, what happens when you're doing something and right in that moment, something that you did not plan happens? You have to learn how to take it in that moment and just figure it out.
Right.
I feel like in real estate, those are probably some of the biggest blows. Like, I have literally sat at the closing table and looked at the Hawes Law Firm and be like, this can't close under these. And I'm like, not with my makeup on, not with this outfit.
Not
like,
with the photographer here.
Not with the photographer standing right here. You gonna say that to them? And it's like, that really do hurt. But it's like also in the moment, how do we figure this out?
Right.
How do we take this sour moment and fix it? And also just step into the space of like, this is my business. I have to take charge of that. Because I think a lot of times, especially again, coming from corporate America, or just not having been in a space where you're in charge, when something goes wrong, what's the first thing you do? You look for your supervisor. You escalate the problem. Like in your business, who do you escalate that to? Nobody. So I feel like for me, having to step into those roles and having to remember like, dang, this is on me to kind of figure out and fix it.
Okay.
I feel like that was a very big learning thing. And again, I never had it figured out beforehand. But as I grow as an entrepreneur, even to this day, I'm learning that those little moments where I like get stumped up or tricked up in the moment, I have to utilize those as moments to learn from and make sure those mistakes don't happen again.
So when you get in those moments, do you feel like there's a resource or something that you kind of lean toward, whether it's to answer that question or whether it's for like, you know what, I don't feel good about that situation. Maybe I need to listen to a song. Like, do you have those type of, you know?
For me, I got real high anxiety. So I'm one of those people, like when stuff start happening, I kid y'all not, like,
you gonna notice.
My chest like starts to hurt and stuff. And so one thing I always do, like I always take a step away from everything and everybody in that moment and just like calm myself down first of all. And then I just start brainstorming and writing down different ideas. Okay, maybe we can do this, maybe we can do that. Because one thing is that we work in a client-facing role. I can never have my clients looking at me getting nervous. Because why are you nervous?
Right.
When your clients see you over there like,
trembling.
It's like now they're nervous. I know that I'm the face of this. I got to take a step back. I got to take a deep breath. I got to come up with some options and I got to be able to come back and say, hey, look, Tiesha, I know this is not ideal. Let me tell you what I'm thinking and let's figure out what's the best way to do this. We can do A, we can do B, we can do C. I think we should do B, but let me know what you think. Because again, I have to be a resource to them. So I think putting myself in a position to be the resource is my resource for fixing it in that moment.
Okay. I feel like for me, I agree with that in that moment. But I think after that moment, when I'm like, Tiesha, you know me.
Yeah,
I'm
how could
always in my head. Like, that wasn't done good enough. I need to do it again.
You would have been like, how do I avoid that?
How do I avoid that next time? What I'm going to do is I have to take a step back from the business. I have to go for a walk or I have to go to the gym. That 45 minutes when I'm in the gym and I'm not thinking about anything else, I'm just thinking about me and the betterment of my body. Yeah. That's going to calm me down. And really in those moments is when I get my best ideas.
I agree.
Like I'm driving to the gym like, okay, you know what? this is what we're going to do. I'm leaving the gym. I'm motivated. Okay, you know what? I just had a good idea. Like, those are the times where I can kind of, I guess you could say re-up. Like, okay, get this energy back up.
Recharge.
Energy is down, but and I got to have that gospel playing. I got a good,
I want you to share yours of mine, because I have a good gospel playlist.
Gospel Rewind. Y'all know, so if y'all know Adobe, I don't know nothing about music. And if it's not on the Apple Music playlist,
she not gonna know
that they curate, I'm not going to know it. So Gospel Rewind.
Okay, I need to do that. I got my own
it's the
little,
one I listen to
throwback.
most often. I'm like, yeah, God, you're going to have to
see me through.
Come send me a message right now.
I love that, though. And I think that is a testament just to understand that, like, not only, like, how you start a business and don't have it all figured out, like, but I would like to say we're seasoned business owners.
Yeah.
And we still don't have it all figured out. And we still are working through trying to pivot in those moments where it's like, what do I do? What can I do? And I think for anybody who's starting a business, I want you to take that and understand that, like, the moments that you're feeling, like, they're normal, they happen, they'll keep reoccurring. Don't let that be the reason you stop your business or you stop your growth. You take that moment as a learning lesson, and like Tiesha said, take a step back from the business and then think about, okay, how do I grow from that? How do I implement something to make sure that doesn't happen again? I think that's like your best like strategy to kind of overcoming that.
And even outside of the business, I feel like you can use that same strategy for yourself. Like, how do I overcome this feeling of like, I'm not doing enough, or like, I'm not enough for something like that? Like, how do you overcome and get that confidence? Take a step back. You know what I'm saying? Like, take a step back. Okay. That's a good way to end it. So give us 3 things. Like if you were, let's say this is River, she's fresh out of college. It's like, I want to start a business. Like we switching it up. Fresh out of college or fresh out of a new job, whatever that transition looks like. I don't really care what the transition is.
Okay.
Share 3 things, three quick things that you would have loved to have known when you first started your business that you know now that's like extremely helpful to you.
Okay, so the very first thing is kind of reiteration of what we talked about, but I would say making a mistake doesn't make you weak. Learning from
Put that on a T-shirt. Some things deserve a T-shirt.
That was good.
That was a good one.
Okay, I love that. Making a mistake doesn't make you weak. Not learning from it does, right? So I would tell myself, like, it's okay to make 100 mistakes as long as you learn from each one of them and you make sure you don't make it again. I think the second thing that I wish I knew was that you should have a mentor. We talk about it a lot. I know y'all gonna be like, girl, don't say the word mentor down. But truly, honestly, like I really do wish that I did, because I think it would have put me in a way better position for where I've landed currently. But again, things happen. And I think the last thing I would say would be like, don't be afraid to take a risk. I think that in the beginning of my business, I played it super, super safe. And I also played it really, really close to the vest in terms of like, okay, I see other realtors doing this, so I'm going to do this. Even though I didn't really love it and it wasn't really like a reflection of me and what I loved in business. But I think the minute that I started kind of betting on myself, and as I always say, bringing a little bit of that Chicago to my transactions, I feel like that's when I like really turned up. Like that's when my business really went from 0 to 100. So I would say take a risk and always like, bet on myself.
Okay. For me, I'm going to say, never compare yourself to others. Always focus on self.
That's a T-shirt. Comparison is the thief of joy.
Comparison is the thief of joy, and it will rip the joy right out of your spirit. What everybody else got going on has literally nothing to do with you. Take it for inspiration, but don't take it as, meant to belittle yourself because you may not be there. Second, I'm going to have to steal yours because I don't play about that mentor.
Man.
If it's not a mentor, get a good support system around you. Have people that are in your corner supporting you as an individual,
for sure,
as a person, and supporting you and your business, because you're going to need that. If you don't have anyone to call, you
can call us.
You can call us and call Jesus, because Jesus helps us all.
And he on the main line.
He on the main line. Okay? And lastly, I'm going to say never stop learning. Never get too comfortable in your business or just in life generally. They got life books on different things. Like, never get too comfortable that you feel like you know it all.
Yeah, because you don't. You don't really, honestly, you don't know nothing.
Keep reading. Keep growing. Keep tuning into podcasts. Like, keep going into these rooms that, like, if you the smartest one in the room, wrong room. Keep going into these rooms that people are putting gems into your head. Like, keep growing. Like, never get complacent. Complacency is never okay. Okay?
Never. I love that.
That's my 3.
I love that. I want to reiterate what you said. If you're the smartest person in the room, please get out.
Please get out.
Go somewhere.
Hey, share your knowledge that day.
And then be like, I won't be back to this room, but I'm so glad I can help.
I appreciate y'all. But,
thank y'all for coming.
Show me where your daddy at. It's like...
You're annoying.
But no, guys, we hope this episode kind of gives you the comfort or the security that you need to know that, like, everybody is still figuring it out. Yeah. Most of us do not know what we're doing, but we're doing it.
Yep.
And so that's our motto today. Just do it. What Nike said?
Just do it. I love it. Shout out to Ikram. What did you say? The hardest thing to do is start.
It's to start. So, and if you don't start, then you will never know if it'll come to fruition. So
I love it.
Hey, thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you each and every week or bi-week. If you make sure you share with your friends, your family, your boss friends, all the good things. Like, share, comment, engage with us, guys. Engagement
we love y'all.
Means a lot. And yeah, that's all for today. We'll see y'all next time.
See y'all. Bye.